going on, guys? You downloaded a brand new episode of Speaking Wrestling with Elvis Arroyo, and I am Elvis Arroyo, and this is episode 41, and on this episode, we are speaking AEW Dynamite, NXT, going to give you guys what to watch, and MVPs and floppers of the week, so stick around for that. But before we get started, guys, I want to give you guys a reminder, head on over to our YouTube page, hit subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram at Speaking Wrestling and over on Twitter at Speaking Wrestle, and our email at Speaking Wrestling for any comments, questions, suggestions for the show. Please let us know. Alright, guys, and with that being said, let's get started with this week's action. And this week, let's start off with NXT this time. We usually do AEW first, but this time around, let's start with NXT. We got much to cover for the AEW portion of the show, so let's start with NXT. This week's NXT episode was a really good episode. It was a continuation of the storylines that have been set since the fallout of Survivor Series and NXT War Games. But we also saw some good matchups here tonight. We also saw Matt Riddle take on Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno returning to Full Sail University from being over in NXT UK for several months, as he made it clear on the show that he is prepping up for his Worlds Collide, as NXT will go on to take on NXT UK at Worlds Collide. That will be Royal Rumble weekend next year, 2020 January. But before we get to that, we had a good matchup from these two. These two guys aren't strangers to one another. They've had a rivalry in a matchup before. Matt Riddle picking up the victory here. We also saw Xia Li go one-on-one with the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler in a very good matchup here as a follow-up to one of the matchups they've had before. But Shayna Baszler picks up the win here. She continues picking up momentum as she goes into her next matchup, as it was announced that William Regal made it clear that Rhea Ripley will wrestle Shayna Baszler on the December 18 edition of NXT, just a number of weeks away. Should be a good matchup. Really the main event, really the big matchup that Shayna Baszler, I think she's finally met her match. I know since having the title on Shayna Baszler and having the reign that she's had for over a year, and not really a strong opponent. They've been trying to build up some opponents, and, we thought it was going to be, at times a Candice LeRae. We thought it was going to be a Bianca Belair, but I think Rhea Ripley fits the mold for someone that can defeat Shayna Baszler. It would make sense, and then also carry on for her title reign. I think she's a very strong candidate right now, as she was very impressive throughout War Games, throughout the Survivor Series, and really throughout the past month of November, as NXT was featured on SmackDown and on Raw. So good stuff there from Rhea Ripley, and it should be a really good matchup. The December 18 edition of NXT looks to be stacking up really nicely here. And another thing that NXT this week did really, really well is packages like the vignettes. We spoke about the vignette they did last week for Cameron Grimes, an NXT usual who's been on air, but he wasn't on TV, but they found a good way to utilize him and bring you more of what his character was with that vignette. This week, another vignette, well done. This one is Isaiah Scott, and you really feel like you get more of an in-depth look into who this individual is and what they bring, and also more of their personality. And with this little small vignette introducing Isaiah Scott to the rest of the world, letting him know that he goes by his name of Swerve as well. Some good stuff there. I'm enjoying this. I mean, this is really what you want. You don't know a lot of these people. I know some might not be familiar with an Isaiah Scott or been familiar with a Cameron Grimes, but these little vignettes give you an indication to who they are, their personality, and what you can expect from them when they do show up on TV, if this was your first time tuning into NXT, as every week NXT should be gaining new audiences. And again, you can only get your characters over if you present them in a way that the audience could digest and enjoy them. Forgotten Sons were also in action. They took on two individuals that are on the Evolve roster here, so they pick up another victory there. Killian Dain defeats Pete Dunne in a very good, impressive matchup. I don't know if this was the kibosh on this rivalry that they had, but definitely I gotta say, Damian Priest might get involved in this. He still has some beef with Killian Dain. Maybe he still has some beef with Pete Dunne, so who knows there. But it was a really good, impressive win from Killian Dain, taking on Pete Dunne, who had been on quite a roll there in the past month. There he had an NXT title shot at Survivor Series. Here takes up another loss here. So like I said, one thing about Pete Dunne a few weeks ago was he's one of those talents that's special, and that if you have him just floating around getting lost in the mix with the other guys, it really diminishes the work that he put in when he had the UK championship. So I hope it's not the case here. I don't think it is, because the last time I said that, he ends up being in a title opportunity at Survivor Series. So it really worked out well for him. But he's one of my favorite guys, and I just would hate to see him be one of those guys where you question what the hell are they doing with Pete Dunne. But with another individual that you certainly do know what they're doing with, and that's Keith Lee. Keith Lee this week was in a 6-man tag with Ciampa and Dijakovic taking on Undisputed Era. They pick up the victory here over the Undisputed Era. Finn Balor comes out just like he does at the end of every NXT show the past couple of weeks. Comes out, tries to get involved. But the big news here was, who's the number one contender for that NXT championship? Who is viable to take Adam Cole on the December 18th edition of NXT? William Regal out here once again, making it a triple threat match. The winner will compete against Adam Cole for the NXT championship. The competitors, Keith Lee, whoop, whoop, Tommaso Ciampa, and of course, Finn Balor. This should be a good matchup. I look forward to it, man. This December 18th, I was about to say pay-per-view. It's really looking like a pay-per-view, and it's pretty well stacked. So good stuff there. Next week's NXT is going to have a Cruiserweight Championship. So I really like the way that NXT lays out their future shows. So you have something to look forward to in the next coming weeks. And it's laid out very well that you actually look forward to it. I mean, that show's 2 weeks away. I would skip next week and just go straight to the December 18th edition. So good stuff there all around from NXT. Let's move on over to AEW Dynamite. Dynamite this week was live from the University of Illinois in Champaign, Illinois. Is it Illinois or Illinois? Sorry, folks. Also, a very hot 6-man tag action. This one got the show kicked off with the Young Bucks and Dustin taking on the Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz and Guevara. This match was not good. If you like flips, if you like dives, if you like no selling, if you like no ring psychology, then this is a match for you, because this match, really, they don't give a fuck about professional wrestling. All they care is making the people go up and down and chant AEW, AEW, this is awesome, and it's not. It's, is it a wrestling match? I don't know. It seemed like 6 guys going out there performing choreographed moves, and not even choreographed. I mean, there's some spots in here where it looks so bad. It looks so like, hey, I'm coming up to you to punch you, do a move on me. I mean, there was some. I mean, especially at the very end, where you had Dustin and Matt Jackson, pick up their opponents, whoever it was, and put them like in a tombstone position. So then Nick Jackson can hit a drop kick on them both, and then somehow that's going to make them have more impact when they fall down to their knees for a tombstone pile driver. I mean, like, it really just seemed kind of like, hey, this is the spot where you're supposed to put me in a tombstone. There were so many of that throughout the match. It was like, you can totally tell, like, hey, this is the spot where you're going to do a move on me. Hey, throw me into the corner. Hey, it just seems so much crap, so set up. And there was a very terrible spot in here that I was just like, I'm done. I'm fucking done with this. And that's the Sammy Guevara, who I think is a very, he's a bright young kid, young for sure. So let's emphasize on the fact that he's young. He pulls out his cell phone and he's filming himself as he's going up to the top rope. Supposedly, Matt Jackson took a move. He's supposed to be lying down on the floor. He's going up to do a shooting star press or whatever the fuck he was going to do with a fucking cell phone in hands. The camera is zoomed in on his face, so you have no idea what's going on anywhere. The only thing you can see on your screen is a very tight close-up of Sammy on the top rope, trying to get his balance. And again, you're supposed to remember that Matt Jackson was laying on the floor because he just got hit with a maneuver, and while everybody else went back to the outside. And next thing you know, they zoom out, and Sammy is coming off the top rope, not doing anything, just straight coming down on his feet. Didn't look like he's gonna attempt to do a move. He wasn't flipping. He wasn't diving. He literally just stood up on the top rope and was just gonna, I'm just gonna get off. And he got off to Matt and Nick Jackson just standing there waiting for a fucking super kick to hit him, a double super kick. But it really came off as kind of like, are you going to tell me that you're on your phone, you're climbing up to the rope, and when you get up to the top rope, you can clearly see the Young Bucks staring back up at you, waiting for your ass to fucking come off the rope so they could fucking double super kick you, and it's going to look like, oh my God, so fucking awesome. It fucking didn't. Fucking terrible. And again, it's so fucking terrible that Jim Ross, iconic, legendary announcer, which all the AEW fans are so fucking happy that he's there because, oh my God, we got the voice of WWE. We got the greatest commentator ever in the history of professional wrestling, and he's going to be calling our stuff. He's going to be calling our stuff. He's calling shit, okay? Let's start there, folks. And we're only getting started because this was the very first matchup of this fucking shit show, okay? And it had to do with the Young Fucks. Moving on, second matchup of the night, Rey Fenix taking on Trent Beretta. And of course, Trent Beretta's got to bring out Chucky fuck Taylor and Orange fucking Cassidy, these two morons. The only fucking talented person in here is Trent Beretta. And the reason why he's fucking talented is because he's gone through the WWE system, never needing to go through any of this crap. He's the only fucking professional out of these three dumb fucks. Anyways, he has what is somewhat of a great match with Rey Fenix, who Rey Fenix is a tremendous competitor. But again, look, he's young. He doesn't know much about the ropes. But one thing he does know about the ropes is how to walk on the fucking ropes, which is amazing, which I credit Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr., best tag team in the fucking world. But you will never know that because the best tag team in the fucking world is the Young Fucks. Pentagon Jr. also in action as he took on 1/3 of SCU, Christopher Daniels, in what was not a very good matchup. There was a botch in here that really shows you where AEW is at with their talent, with the way they work. I mean, seriously, 3 matches that I just talked about right now, and did I say that any of those matches were good? No. So while I'm already hot, let's go into another place where I'm about to fucking light myself on fire. The women's division in AEW. I've been saying the women's division is problematic even before AEW Dynamite, even before All Out, before all this shit. Way back at Double or Nothing, my biggest question was, what's your women's division? And we got told it's Riho, it's Nyla Rose, it's Brandi, it's Britt Baker. They were just promoting 4 women at the top. Then slowly they told you about there's this chick, and then there's this chick, and then, oh, there's this Japanese chick, and then there's this one. And then this one only comes around whenever she can come over here. Oh, and this one, we're only borrowing her for the weekend. And then they had all these women come on for a fucking all-out battle royal. Where are the women? And most importantly, where the fuck is Riho? You fucking have this fucking big old masquerade about presenting a fucking first ever AEW Women's Championship. She wins the fucking title and you never fucking see her. Hello, Brock Lesnar. And here we had 2 women. There was 2 matches on this episode of AEW Dynamite. So if they're doing one good thing that's correct in 2019 is you have 2 women's segments. And this first matchup, I don't even remember who the fuck was in here because you don't know these people long enough, and it won't even fucking matter. Win and loss records, which I will get into in a short time. Win and loss records say that it's going to be so important. WWE doesn't care about win and loss, and AEW, your record is going to matter. Your win and loss, your ties, and all that stuff. It's going to be very vital to if you get a title shot or where you're ranked. Well, guess what? There are women who have wins, and where the fuck are they? There are women who have losses, and where the fuck are they? Getting pushed. So it does not make any fucking sense what they promised, and it's the fact that they made a commercial. And I know I'm gonna get some people, oh, it wasn't AEW that made the commercial. TNT did it for them. Well, fucking AEW didn't do anything to fucking stop them from airing that fucking commercial if it's so fucking bad. And all of you can admit out there that, yeah, it was poor taste. Yeah, maybe you should have done it, but TNT did it. So don't blame the people at AEW. Well, like I said, nobody at AEW didn't fucking say, hey, don't do that. That's going to be bad for us. We know our audience, just like they fucking say they do. We know our audience. This is a company for the fans, by the fans. Rhea, Bill, the fucking fans are running this company down on the fucking ground. This is an utterly fucking bullshit promotion, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. And I'm really sick and tired of the fact that people really think that this is fucking great. People will shit on everything that the WWE does, no matter what. Even if WWE does something that's so fucking great, they're not even gonna fucking give it the time or say, yeah, that is great. That is good. Yeah, it was good. No, they're just gonna say, no, it's all crap. It's all fucking crap. It's all crap. I mean, there's people out there defending Brandi Rhodes for her bullshit. And this week, I do not want to fucking hear or see or fucking think that there's anybody out there that's saying that the Brandi segment was great or the best part of the show, or that anything WWE does doesn't even fucking hold a candle to what she does, because she is literally, I fucking mean literally, killing the fucking women's division in AEW. And she's supposed to be the what? Chief branding officer. She gives herself that fucking title because she wants to put herself right next to fucking Stephanie McMahon. Guess what? You're not Stephanie McMahon, and you're not. Don't fucking act like it, and don't fucking pretend it, okay? You were the fucking ring announcer for NXT. And last but not least, one more thing about the women's division before we get moving on here. Women's division, Nyla Rose. They show a video package of her attacking, again, who I don't remember her fucking name. They attacked her last week while this woman was doing a meet and greet with AEW fans, and Nyla Rose comes and attacks her, beats her the fuck up backstage, which is great. Hey, they're actually really going into some detail, and they're planning ahead, planting some seeds and character development. They're telling us that Nyla Rose is this menacing, big, bad woman that you shouldn't fuck around with, and she's gonna beat the shit out of you just like she did to that woman in that video. And she's a heel. She goes around beating people up that are trying to do meet and greets with AEW fans. That's really fucked up. And yeah, it is fucked up. And if you're gonna be booing for the bad guys, then yeah, booing Nyla Rose is what you're supposed to fucking do. But Nyla Rose, nobody's telling these fucking people. Check your shit. Because Nyla Rose, they just aired a fucking vignette about Nyla Rose beating up a fucking fellow AEW talent at a meet and greet. Nyla Rose, the entire fucking match, is working like a fucking babyface. She's trying to fucking pander to the crowd. She's trying to get them like, come on. She's giving them what they want. You know, when the crowd says one more time, if you're a heel, you don't fucking give them one more fucking time. No, but Nyla Rose, you do. At the end, people are fucking standing up and cheering everything she fucking does because she's going out there trying to win the fucking fans over. And then at the end of the match, she fucking beats up the referee, puts him through the fucking table like a heel. Again, you come out, they're dressing you up that you're a fucking heel. You go in the ring and you fucking perform like a baby face, and then post-match, you're back acting like a fucking heel. And that's not even the most astonishing part of this whole fucking scene right here. It's the Britt Baker scene. Britt Baker. Seriously, Britt Baker these days, if you want to catch Britt Baker, you find her in the fucking audience, because she ain't getting no fucking ring time. I mean, she was at War Games in the audience, and now she's in the audience at her own company that she fucking works for. Great way to utilize your talent. Great way to utilize one of your stars that you've really been trying to push for a number of weeks. But just because you want to get back at WWE because they showed a little scene of Britt Baker in the crowd for for Adam Cole's matchup at War Games, so they thought, hey, you know what would be really funny? You want to know what would be really funny? If you go sit out in the crowd, Nyla's gonna powerbomb the ref through a table, and then you're gonna give the same reaction that you did at War Games. And it would be funny because we're doing it to them now. Right? It's funny. It's not. It's ridiculous. And the fact that there are people out there. Yeah, I get it. Elvis. It's a joke. They're just having fun. Really? You're having fun? utilizing this person's career, okay? You're presenting this person's career to hundreds, millions of people all around the world watching this show who want to learn about professional wrestling, who want to learn about Britt Baker, who want to learn about AEW. Look, I'm starting to sound like a real AEW fan, but I'm fucking not. I would love for AEW to do great because it's professional wrestling and there are talented people that do work there. Competition is great. Competition makes everybody else great, okay? High tide raises all ships. But when you do shit like this, you're not doing anything for Britt Baker. I don't even like Britt Baker, and it sounds like I'm fucking standing up for her because I am. Because this is talent. This is real people. And because you want to get back at WWE because it's funny. It's not fucking funny when all the fucking viewers change the fucking channel and within a fucking year, you guys are fucking streaming your shit on YouTube. And I spoke about Brandi moments ago. Let's speak about her husband, Cody fucking Rhodes, right? Cody fucking Rhodes. It seems like every single week, same time, same channel, you'll see him coming out. And of course, he's got to give himself the big grand entrance. And yes, he made fun of it that, oh, yeah, I you know, all the pomp and circumstances. Yeah, because you're so full of yourself, you fucking idiot. You get a promo segment. You guys had already advertised that Brandi's going to get a talking segment, that Jericho's got a fucking talking segment, and just an impromptu Cody segment now with Tony Schiavone out there to feed you, and so you can just set it up and fucking knock him out of the ballpark. To what? You came out there to give a fucking stupid ass speech about woe is me, just like you have. Every fucking time Cody Rhodes opened his fucking mouth, he's just out there sounding like, my best friend turned his back on me. Everybody feels sorry for me. I lost to Chris Jericho and cannot compete for the AEW championship anymore. Feel sorry for me. I got attacked by new talent last week. Feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for the fucking people that thought that they were tuning into a wrestling show and instead they get this. If there's anyone to blame that's as much hands-on with AEW on everything, it's got to be Cody Rhodes. And Cody thinks that this is great. This is not great, man. This is not great. Is it shit? I mean, I've been saying that it's shit, but there's some stuff in here that I like. I mean, I watched with the idea that they told us that, even the fucking ad says it, AEW kept their promises. Promises of what? Promises of what? What did you fucking promise? What did you fucking promise, right? What did you fucking promise? Cody Rhodes, what did you fucking promise? Because you are the one. I heard you on motherfucking Rich Eisen. I heard you. You said, well, we're going to do things different because win and losses are going to matter. Yeah, we're going to really pay attention to the wins and losses. That's the one thing in wrestling that they've really lost track in, and we're going to do it right because this is AEW, a company run by wrestlers, for wrestlers, by the fans, for the fans. No. Okay, Cody. So let's talk about that win and loss record, okay? You said win and loss record is going to matter where you're ranked and championship contendership, okay? So you're going to fucking tell me that a guy who has no win, not one fucking win in AEW is going to compete against Chris Jericho December 18th for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship? Can you fucking tell me why Pac has not gotten a fucking opportunity, or why is he nowhere near the fucking AEW World Heavyweight Championship? Why? And lastly, if there's a saving grace to when I watch AEW this past week, or any week at all, really, it's been Jon Moxley. And again, look, what do we got here? A guy that's been through the WWE system and comes through on your show like a fucking star. And nothing about his matches, nothing about his promo, nothing about his character makes me for 1 second think I don't take him seriously, that I'm changing the channel, and this is bullshit. Instead, I am glued to the fucking television because I am captivated by what Jon Moxley has to say, what Jon Moxley has to do. Fuck, just his presence on there lets me know this shit is real. So Jon Moxley had a one-on-one matchup to close out the show with Joey Janela. And Joey Janela, you know, he's one of these guys that comes up close to the rest of the guys in the indies and everybody tied to the elite. But he really seems to be wanting to stand out. And now, yes, about a week ago or so, he did call out AEW. He called out his own company for, hey, I'm here, I'm not being utilized. And kudos to him, man. I mean, that earns you points with me, and it certainly, I bet, earns you points with fellow wrestling fans out there that are probably thinking, what the fuck are they doing with Joey Janela? And I'm not a Joey Janela fan, but with shit like this and the promo that he cut this week, I'm starting to definitely become a Joey Janela fan. I might be late, like some of you guys. I've already been there for a while, but I know who he is. Look, I've never really shitted on him or thought that he's fucking crap or anything, but his affiliation with, you know, the elite and, you know, some of the indie talent that have come up, and of course, what comes with being an indie wrestler. And of course, he's a little bit more of an unorthodox indie wrestler. He's not your flippy divey indie wrestler. He's more of a backyard, insane deathmatch wrestling, which is, again, it's just playing on to the internet crowd, but he's really showing his growth in AEW. And again, for a guy in AEW to have the balls to fucking call out his own management as to why you're not doing shit with me, I'm a fucking star, I should just go fucking somewhere else. Kudos, man. Major fucking kudos. You gotta fight back. And that goes for people in WWE too. That's one thing I say. It's, if you know your character, if you know who you are, you know what your purpose is, and you know what's best for that character, and you're gonna fight, and you're gonna stand up, let your voice be heard, I gotta say, it's major kudos to a guy like Joey Janela. And this matchup, again, he's going in their second time having a matchup with Jon Moxley. Of course, they had their first one at Fyter Fest in that Lights Out match, but this one actually counted. Jon Moxley picks up another victory here, and we get Chris Jericho coming back out here once again, doing the same spot that Moxley did last week on Jericho, and just standing out in the audience, coming out Shield style. And that's how we go off the air with the show. So all in all, I know my thoughts on the show is that it wasn't great, but man, it's really little bit of stuff that I left away this week feeling like, okay, that's the only reason why I'll tune into it. All right, guys, and after yelling at you guys for a while, it's now time to get into what to watch for this week. What to watch, guys? It's MLW, NWA, and Impact. Be sure to check out those shows. If you're growing out of AEW, or it's not for you, or not what they fucking promise, and you still want an alternative to professional wrestling, to WWE, I highly suggest check out MLW. NWA is a great alternative as well. It's a little bit of a niche show, so I mean, there's still some great enjoyment there. And also Impact Wrestling there can still use some improvement there, but it's a great show. Definitely an alternative if you're looking for that. And MVPs and floppers of the week, guys. My MVP for the week is Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, like I said, man, everything he says, everything he does, just him showing up on my screen and I'm watching. And flopper of the week, guys, it's got to go to Brandi Rhodes. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Speaking Wrestling. Be sure to head on over to YouTube, hit subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram at Speaking Wrestling, and over on Twitter at Speaking Wrestling. You can listen to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher. Be sure to give a review, thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. Helps the show grow. And we'll be back again next week with episode 42 of Raw SmackDown Talk. You guys have a great weekend. We'll do it again next week.